Hi, my name is Oliver Prehn. Join me on this little walk in the forest this morning in the early springtime, and we will talk about improvised music. Furthermore, we will talk about how we can make a living and have a free and open-minded relationship with music. This is a very untraditional video, I know, without my piano. But nevertheless, we will have an interesting talk, I'm sure. Walking around, getting away from our instrument, actually makes us think differently, and maybe we will see things in a different and larger perspective. This NewJazz channel is all about playing and teaching improvised music. Now listen. The birds. This sound landscape of singing birds is truly an example of improvised music. It's a huge ensemble. Lots of small phrases and melodies are constantly improvised all around us. An ever-changing organic sound that indeed seduces the listener. Every phrase and motif is spontaneous, immediate and unique, impossible to predict. We don't know what will happen in the next split second. The music is unpredictable. Now, this sound landscape of the birds is what I call improvised music. So, how can we improvise music like the birds? Well, I believe that if we use simple and easy tools and techniques, we will, to a greater extent, feel free, and we will achieve a spontaneous, intuitive and expressive improvisation. So when I teach music, what I really try to do is to make complicated stuff more simple and easy. Not that I always succeed, but at least I try. And the idea is that when we play a solo using simple and easy tools, then we are able to free our mind, and in this way our solo play actually gets much better, because we can redirect our mental energy from complicated thoughts about techniques and music theory into the expressions and the feelings. So if we play simple, we will free our mind, and just that is very important, I think. If we feel free when playing a solo, we can to a much greater extent express ourselves through music. Our music will be spontaneous, immediate and intuitive, just like the music of the birds. So if we learn to sing like the birds, one day we may even fly. Now I will explain a little about how I live my life together with music. This video should not be about me, but maybe my little story will inspire you and make you think about how you want to live your life with music. And that's the idea. Well, actually I have a master degree in music and multimedia, but to earn for a living, I simply just drive the city bus. And why do I do that? Well, driving a bus actually works perfect together with music. When I get home from the bus driving, I'm not just off work, I'm really off work. What I mean is that I do not bring work home with me. For example, I don't have any meetings or papers to prepare for the next day. When I'm home, I do not have any concern or troubles about my work. In that way, I have a simple job. When I get home from work, I can totally concentrate my thoughts on music. Another big advantage being self-supporting driving the bus is that I'm not addicted to any music institution. This kind of life makes me free, at least I feel free, and this free feeling affects my music. I'm not dependent and restricted by a certain institutional way of thinking music. I'm not forced to teach a specific program of study in a specific traditional way. So I'm free in thoughts and mind when playing and teaching music. Well, of course, we are all different and we live under different conditions around the world, I know. So what could be really interesting is to hear your story. How do you live your life with music? What are your future plans? What are your dreams? You are so much welcome to write your story in the comments below and share your thoughts with the NewJazz community. I'm sure we will all get inspired hearing your story. But I think no matter how you choose to live your life, you must try to achieve this single goal. Be free with your music. You must live a life where you are able to make music the way you want it to be. In this way, you will contribute to the evolution and expansion of music and to the idea that music is an ever-changing, eternal process. I think, sadly as it is, that music institutions and music schools, generally speaking, are stuck in traditions, in certain ways of doing things. But music should not be a static phenomenon. Music should be more like the birds, free and unpredictable and intuitive. Music should always evolve and surprise us. That's the main idea about music, I think. Well, this video is certainly not meant to be a crusade against the established music schools. Many schools are for sure totally great, and all our main knowledge we got from these schools. This is just a little warning, not to get stuck. Do not always listen to music teachers like me. Do things your way. Make your life and your music the way you want it to be. That's my main point. So at the NewJazz channel, you will not find the traditional complete jazz course you may get at a traditional music school. The NewJazz channel make no promises about the content, and some stuff you have to look up elsewhere. In return, the NewJazz channel should provide you with something special and unique, something you cannot find elsewhere. NewJazz should encourage you to explore and discover new aspects of music. Well, I don't know if I'll ever succeed. I will of course fail many times, but I will just keep on trying because I have this inner drive that makes me want to try out new ways of doing things, changing and growing music. So I surely hope you are with me on this. Together we can do it. We can break down the boundaries. We can change the traditions. We can play music as never before. Okay, now it's time for many huge thanks for all the donations I have received lately. Because of these donations, I have actually been able to cut down the hours driving the bus with an entire day every week. So now I only have to drive 4 days a week instead of 5 making a living. In return, I've been able to make more NewJazz lessons. So I'm just so grateful. Thanks a lot, my friends. Actually, it was my 13-year-old son telling me about 3 months ago, you should make a PayPal and Patreon account. He is just much more into all this YouTube and smart internet things than I am. But anyway, I had a hard time believing him that people would actually donate to a regular guy like me, just making some music stuff. But I did, as my wise son said, and now I'm able to make even more music stuff. For me, that's really, really fantastic. So thanks to my son and to all of you girls and guys. I just can't express my gratitude enough. I really, really mean it. It comes directly from my heart. But, very important, don't feel obligated to donate anything. All NewJazz content are free and for everybody, money or no money, because I don't think ideas on music should be constrained or hidden behind a paywall. Music is for everybody. So, at NewJazz, it's not possible to buy extra materials for contributors only. So if you choose to donate $1 or $2, you will help me making more lessons for the benefit of the entire community. You will support the idea that music is not a secret thing. You will support the idea that music stuff is a kind of open source thing that we can all benefit from. Okay, I should really stop talking now and instead go home and prepare the next lesson, this time with the piano. We have to get on to it and play some music, right? So enjoy and have a great time until we meet again. The best and warm regards from Oliver Prehn.